Hey folks, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Friday, the next to last day of media interviews here at the NFL Combine. Got a lot going on, and a little later today, but I brought you a little bit treat. I'm going to bring you along with me here through the media area at the Indiana Convention Center as some of these final running back interviews are getting underway. So we're going to do that while we talk, do the walk and talk thing, just with a little bit of a different backdrop today. So the Steelers, we had a big day for the Steelers beat today here in terms of media interviews. We talked to wide receivers, we talked to the running backs, we talked to the quarterbacks. A ton of news coming out in terms of who the Steelers had formal interviews with, including Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, Trey Harris, all the running backs, Judkins, Trevion Henderson, a quarterback, Jackson Dart was an interesting name to come up. So a whole bunch of stuff I haven't even really totally processed yet. Just kept on doing all those interviews. One thing I kind of wanted to say is just now having done 3 days worth of these interviews, I feel like we do have a good sense of where the Steelers are thinking and looking, and maybe where they aren't thinking and looking. They did do formal interviews with some of those top cornerback prospects, but it just feels like to me the greater focus here has been on defensive tackle, wide receiver, and running back. Those three positions really feel like the positions the Steelers have spent the most time targeting. And I think that's probably makes sense. Cornerback is really deep in free agency, and I think that's probably more the direction they'll take there with the other three positions coming out of this draft class. So I was really impressed with Emeka Egbuka. I talked to him a lot today. He's obviously been kind of the one guy that circled in that first round that could be an optional wide receiver. And boy, what like an impressive interview. He's just so mature, calm, cool, and collected. Doesn't really talk like a wide receiver. He talks like a quarterback, if that makes sense. Was really, really impressed with his interview, with his poise. I asked him where that comes from, and he said, being the son of immigrants, his father came from Nigeria to America, really enforced that for him from a young age. And man, just an impressive guy. I think if you're talking about personality fit, obviously the scheme and the athleticism, all that matters, and he's not doing his running today. And I'm going to pause while I give you guys a glimpse here. This is Radio Row, and good folks from Steelers Nation. We got Kinger back there. So this is the Radio Row area. But yeah, Egbuka is impressive, man. And I think when you look at what's happening with some of the defensive linemen, Nolan, there were already questions about some character stuff, some effort level concerns, things like that. I don't think him, surprisingly not running did him any favors here this week. Kenneth Grant comes up with the hamstring injury. Obviously, he's a huge guy, and the ability for those to stay healthy are always questionable and always very important. And that's something that I think will bring some pause in this process. So if you want to talk about guys that, to me, so far have really stepped up their chances of being the Steelers' first-round pick, I think Egbuka and I think Harmon from Oregon are the two guys that have really climbed that draft board. And then, from there, running back looks like a second-day priority, given the guys I talked to, guys like Judkins and Henderson and Hampton and Caleb Johnson. There's a huge group of running backs there. And although I don't think Genty is realistic for the Steelers, I think it's realistic they're going to get a really good running back pretty early in this draft as well. I would be surprised right now if the first three picks are not some combination of defensive tackle, wide receiver, and running back. So that's all I kind of got for today. Taking a little escalator up here through the gigantic Indiana Convention Center. It takes me like another 5 minutes to walk. It takes me longer to walk from the interview area to the media area here than it does to get to the building here from my Airbnb. But glad to take you guys behind the scenes a little bit. Stick here on the YouTube channel with more. I'll be back with some Steelers Afternoon Drive at 5 o'clock. Until then, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy.